Alrighty, welcome back to the next game here. This is game number 3 between University of San Francisco and UC Berkeley. Self-proclaimed Battle of the Bay by me, your caster, Maut. Thanks for joining me here today on Dota. And we had two very good games so far. Both very even teams, as you can see. That last game could have gone either way, but just wasn't enough for the Luna to get farmed. And the Nakes, you saw the power of the FNC Nakes build. And, it's been played by a lot of people for that specific reason. It just does so much damage. It's the chasing power, the ganking power is always nice, so. But enough about that. Let's get back into the pick ban phase. Immediately, UCSF is going to ban out the Templar Assassin and the Undying. And I gotta say, I was very surprised to see the Templar Assassin work out so well. So that hero is still very strong. Magnus as well as the Bat Rider banned out by the side of Berkeley. They're going to pick up the Nyx Assassin, a hero that is almost certainly one of the strongest supports in the game right now. Also a very good mid lane hero, not used as often, but still very good mid lane hero. Two pickups here from the side of San Francisco. And I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far. We have at least this game and another. And it could always go to 5 games, of course. It is a best of 5 series. I hope you guys are enjoying. Now, the quality of play isn't always professional level, but I find myself really thoroughly enjoying a lot of the CDL games. There's very few CDL games where I say, man, that was a stomp. A lot of the games are very, very competitive. I've seen 60, 70-minute CDL games, and a lot of them are played at a pretty high level, I'd have to say. Some of these guys are in the very high bracket, and, well, most of them are, actually, and I think that's pretty important to note, is that these Dota players aren't, just your average run-of-the-mill Dota players. They had to get through a lot to get here in the first place. We're talking about 4 or 5 rounds of bracket play that they had to get through, so that's something to keep in mind. And, there were teams with pro players. Of course, UNC Chapel Hill is one team that you can think about. Bulba and his team are still in it. In the semifinals for the East bracket. There was George Mason, I believe, was the team for Korok, and they had Cornell University for Fnatic Rolo. So, some interesting stuff happening right now in terms of picks. Let's get into it. We see the diamond pick up here from the side of Berkeley. On the side of UCSF, it's Bounty Hunter and Rubik. So they have their offlaner. They've got a support hero. Darkseer, the offlaner for UC Berkeley, and he's been picked up every single game so far. Very surprising to see Darkseer not get banned out. Regardless, I think it provides for some interesting games. Shadow Demon again picked up the 3rd game in a row. Rubik also, I think, for the 3rd game in a row. So the heroes are similar, but it's not always the same complexion. Now, I want to see what the carries are going to be as we get along here into the pick ban phase. Now, does UCSF pick up what they want to pick up now? Do they go for the next pickup again? It worked well for them. You can go for a Sven. There's a whole lot of different carries that you have available to your advantage. Gyrocopter is something that I see a lot of the time that's not really played as much. For whatever reason, I feel like he's a very strong hero. I feel like he's a very good hero because he's a ranged Sven, essentially. If you can get enough farm, it's like one of the only heroes that a Divine Rapier is more than just, I need this to get back in the game, or I'm going to be BMing at the end of the game. Like, the Divine Rapier is an item that you get on the Gyrocopter pretty consistently, as long as you have enough farm, and you have a BKB, for sure. A Manta as well would also be nice, and an Aegis, of course, too. But Divine Rapier is something that you use pretty effectively to win games on the Gyrocopter. I've seen it quite often. Once again, welcome back to the CDL. This is game number 3 between San Fran and Berkeley. Battle of the Bay. Nightstalker the pickup here. Sven banned out for the first ban of the next ban phase. On the side of Berkeley, we're going to see the Queen of Pain this time around banned. So no quap for you, fan, unfortunately. But right now, you do have the Nyx Assassin and the Shadow Demon. You have probably part of your tri-lane, unless you send Nyx mid, which is not the worst idea, I think. Maybe against Nightstalker might be a little bit more difficult, because Nightstalker really doesn't need the mana, and mana burning him is not going to be as effective. Void is nice to last hit and to do damage early on, but if he's got a bottle anyways, and around that first night he's going to be regenning and stuff like that. The Impale is really the tough part, is that. And as soon as you hit level 6, is also you have to really make sure you time that out, get Sentry Wards up on the map as quickly as possible. It's really how you shut down the Nyx Assassin and his role. 4 seconds of reserve time for the side of UCSF. They will ban out the Life Stealer there. The Nyx is gone. Kodal is banned out on the side of Berkeley. Well, I think that very high bracket means something. Whenever I play in very high bracket, I get absolutely dominated. So that's my opinion, Joe. No, I mean, I'm really bad. So maybe it's just my viewpoint. I don't know. The Lone Druid is the next ban from the side of UC Berkeley. The final ban will be coming from just a second for UCSF. They cannot take too much time. It will be a Brewmaster, surprisingly enough. Now, the choice is, do you send Nyx Assassin mid, or do you get him as the support in part of that tri lane? And we're going to find out pretty soon. Ouch. Yes, I mean, I am dyslexic. I cannot say UCSF correctly, apparently. I'll just say San Fran. I made a resolve to say just San Fran every time I cast them, but I've never stuck to it. Luna, the next pickup here from the side of Berkeley. And that's going to be probably their tri-lane, I have to imagine. Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon, and Luna. Unless they, pick up another support here, which would scream to me Nyx Assassin mid. Luna didn't really work for them in the previous game, but they were up against a Nyx, and who was a very strong, formidable foe for any carry to go up against. And San Fran has got about 10 seconds right now to really pick something, and they're thinking about it. They've got 4 seconds of reserve time, and after that, it's donezo. What will they go for? They will go for the Furion, the Nature's Prophet. A little bit of a wild card pickup there. And what are we waiting on? One more pickup from both teams. That's what we're waiting on. What's it going to be for the side of Berkeley? Will it be a support, or will it be a mid-hero? And we're going to find out. And who's it going to be? Is it going to be a Nyx Assassin against a Night Stalker, or another hero? We'll have to find out. We've got a few... I mean, they have all of the reserve time left, surprisingly enough. They haven't used any of it. Unlike the side of San Fran, they've used pretty much all of it. And they will get into reserve time. They have plenty of time to really think this one through. What's it going to be? It's going to be a Sand King. So what this screams to me is Nyx Assassin mid, Shadow Demon, Sand King, Luna, and a tri-lane. And Sand King, very, very strong hero for a few reasons. Number one, you have a disruption from a Shadow Demon, and then you have a Sand King Burrow Strike. Actually, I mean, that tri-lane doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what's going to be happening here in terms of laning. I'd have to imagine it'd be Nyx mid with Shadow Demon, Luna, Sand King, but Sand King good with that Epicenter, of course, but that BKB obviously negates the effects of that. And also, a Blink Dagger is pretty necessary for a Sand King to really be super effective, I think. The Enigma, the last pickup here, so battle of the team fight heroes right now with the last pickups from both teams on the side of San Fran and Berkeley. We're going to get into the game in just a moment. Waiting on some pickups here from San Fran as well as UC Berkeley. Once again, I am Maut. It's good to be back casting this best of 5 series. It will go at least 4 games. This series is tied 1-1. It's been as good a series as you could probably imagine right now. Not the most kills, not the most action or whatever, but still pretty fun to watch, I gotta say. Been some impressive plays. Alright, chat. Who's going to win this game? I mean, and give me a reason why. Don't just say, this team's going to win. I mean, like, give me an active reason. Why do you think that a certain tri-lane will beat another tri-lane, or who will beat who in mid, or what will happen with the Furion, where will he go, and things of that nature. Still waiting on Yellow. He is going to pick up his hero. Getting into the game on the side of UC Berkeley, we've got Ray Lottery once again on the Shadow Demon, #based Lottery 2016. Fan will be on the Nyx Assassin, Wolfen on the Darkseer again, Primetime on the Luna again, and Fox will be on the Sand King. So their team is completed on the side of San Fran. ZZZ on the Bounty Hunter, Brobosaurus on the Rubik. We've got the Big Head on the Night Stalker. De-icing Lasers, Law will be on the Enigma. The fortification going out for apparently no reason. That's fine. And Sorrico Swalve will be on the Nature's Prophet. So here's the thing. This is going to be a carry Furion, I believe, because they don't really have any other hard carries. Bounty Hunter is sort of utility, more often than not, and Night Stalker is a semi-carry. So they're going to rely heavily on Furion getting some farm, getting some damage, and working on just being able to kill people, essentially. And Furion can do a bit of right-click damage. And
30
not only that,
seconds to battle.
he has that global presence, which we saw sort of working in the first game with Soyroku Suave on the Tinker, but not as effectively as I think a Furion could work, because you do need to get Boots of Travel to work really efficiently, and they need to be pretty quick as well. And we saw it wasn't the quickest Boots of Travel, and Tinker's still a hero that's tough to play, whereas Furion, you have a TP with its max level being 20 seconds. You can TP around the map, Treant, push, TP out, you know. So it will be a tri-lane with actually Fox, Ray Lottery, and Primetime, so I was wrong. It's going to be Sand King mid, surprisingly enough. Wolfen will be up in the top lane. Meanwhile, we'll see... Oh, it looks like they're going to put Soyuko Suave mid on the Furion, and there'll be a Night Stalker with Rubik here, as well as the Enigma in the jungle. So a sort of a dual lane, a semi-tri-lane here. Bounty Hunter, of course, the off laner there. So I was completely wrong in everything I said, so that's good. It's really good stuff.
Haste!
Alright. So this will be a duel lane up against this Darkseer. And once again, you can't really take this guy for granted. He can be pretty effective early on, especially with Iron Shell, and can deal quite a bit of damage to squishy heroes, as we saw Brobosaurus go down in the first game to Wolfen on that Darkseer, and he's probably not going to make that same mistake twice. In fact, he's already staying pretty far away from that lane. Mid lane, we do see Fan already taking a bit of damage here. Of course, this will be tough. I mean, you have the Trance going pretty early. He's got 3 last hits. The Sand King has 1. Fan going for Burrow Strike first. He's going to get Sandstorm as well, which will provide him a little bit more. He's actually going to use a Burrow Strike right onto Soyuko Swap, which will do a little bit more damage coupled up with that Sandstorm, as you can see. But Soyuko Swap will just rotate out of the Sandstorm and he'll be fine. But making it a little bit more difficult for Furion. But Fan taking a lot of damage from the right click as well as the Treants, but they might get sacrificed to the towers here. Fan trying to get the last hits, but not happening though. Bottom lane, Bounty Hunter. He should be okay as long as there's no sentries here for the side of Ray Lottery. It doesn't look like there are. Fan has actually 2 of them, or excuse me, Fox has 2 of them. So if they do want to go for a gank once this lane is pushed out, they might be able to do so. Enigma actually pretty low. Going to be going for a Soul Ring. Tanking up a lot of the creeps on his own, it looks like. But that Soul Ring will be out to him in just a moment. Courier is not flying yet. It's bringing the bottle, of course, to the Furion. And the Radiance Courier going down. Nice. That's the... I don't know what was on the Courier, but I have to imagine it was probably a bottle. No? Okay, there's nothing on it. Looks like the bottle came out to Fan, and it got killed on the way back. So Soyuko Suave, once again, another nice pickup there. Of course, the last game, the bottle there went down for the side of, I think it was the big head in the mid lane. There is this double damage rune which will be taken here. TP going to be used to take it. So nice rune control there from Soyuko Suave. Looking at the last hits, 11 on the Luna right now, 10 on the side of the Furion. Night Stalker has about 9, so he's doing okay for himself, but he's taking a bit of damage. As you can see, he's got a bottle, which I think is nice because he'll be roaming around, heading through the river at nighttime at that first night, which comes at about 6 minutes. And the Iron Shell still providing a lot of damage, as you can see. Wolfen not getting harassed too much. He's pretty much at full health right now. Going to be going for a Soul Ring, I have to imagine. More right click going into Fan right now. He's level 4. Soyuko Swap as well level 4. Missing a bit of experience by TP and getting that DD rune, which he still has. Now Sandstorm, of course, on cooldown, so if Soyuko Swap wants to go, he can. He has Sprout available, I think. Yes, he absolutely does. So as soon as the Sandstorm is ended, I think Soyuko Swap might try to go for a kill here. I would not be surprised. It'll be done in about a second, as you can see the channeling. I want to keep my eye here, but I don't want to miss anything. Nope, Soyuko Swap won't go for anything, so that was anticlimactic. De-Essing Lasers, Lol, taking a bit of damage right now. He's got the Soul Ring, but he needs to be very careful. If anybody even comes up here, he's dead, so. Looking at Wolfen right now, he's got boots on him. No Soul Ring just yet. I don't think he needs it. Brobosaurus taking more Iron Shell damage. He's not going to stray too close to it. He's going to try to right-click Wolfen if possible. The big head trying to get kills on these creeps. Having an okay time about it. 16. Oh, meanwhile, Wolfen's going to be taking a bit of damage there from that Fable. There is a Void available. Silence going to go not in time, though, unfortunately. And not enough mana for a follow-up Void there. So, unfortunately, if they got the Silence off just a little bit quicker, that kill is definitely assured. Soyuko Suave now has that DD popped off. Bottom lane, ZZZ. 2 last hits. Not surprising. He's really only there just to get experience. He's actually going to try to use Shuriken Toss to not only take last hits, but deny as well. And now Soyuko Suave going to try to pressure this tower. He's going to do a bit of damage to it with that DD rune. Heading top, looking for the rune, not going to find it. It is that bottom lane illusion. He can TP to get it because there is Ray Lottery there. Flying Courier in the bank right now. And Enigma does in fact go down to neutral, so unfortunate play there for him. Not really what you want to see. That's all right. Now we might see some rotation mid, but I think Soriko Suave will back off smartly. He has that Sprout if necessary to save himself. They will be coming up on the high ground here, Fox as well as Ray Lottery. Fox is only level 1 apparently. Not getting the most in terms of his experience. If they can get a kill here, though, that'll provide him at least a level, I'd imagine. They will maybe try to dive this. Soriko Suave staying very close to the tower smartly, and now Ray Lottery is actually blocked off by the creeps. He might go down here. In fact, will do so. Unfortunate. That is first blood going for Soriko Suave. A big pickup there. And he's got 1,500 gold in the bank. He could buy a Midas recipe if he wants to. Nice play. Top lane. Wolfen. Only had 8 last hits, surprisingly enough. The big head's doing a good job of denying, I'm sure, and making sure that that Iron Shield creep does go down pretty quickly. De-Essing Lasers looking for smoke gank into the mid lane right now, or actually just a Roche attempt, which you can't really do without a medallion. I'm not sure how this is going to work. He's got a salve. He's actually got 2 salves, so I guess you can do it. Just it's very difficult and takes a long time without the medallion. Already he misses the split for 1. I don't know if this is going to work out. This will be pretty difficult to do, I'd have to imagine. It's going to take a long time to be sure, so we'll check back in on him. I don't think he'll die from that. He'll back out before he dies. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. Soriko Suave, with about 2,000 gold in the bank, is sitting pretty right now. Fan, not with a whole lot in terms of his own. Primetime got his tranquils going. Fox, only level 2 right now. Ray Lottery's 3. And this is the problem. You need to accomplish something down here in a tri-lane. Go roam. They tried doing that. Didn't work out. Maybe head up into the top lane, go for a gank on the Night Stalker. But of course it is nighttime. Looking at levels, he is still the lowest at level 2, and he's pretty far behind right now. Actually helping out is Soriko Suave, so this will be a very early Aegis. No vision coming here from the side of the Radiant, so they have no idea this is happening. This will be essentially a free Roshan attempt. I think the Aegis will probably go for the Furion, maybe ZZZ as well. I'm not 100% sure who they'll give it to, but regardless, that will provide them some more experience as well as gold, which definitely could be used for ZZZ. He's level 6 right now. He just skills his track and might go for a gank mid lane. Fan is here. Of course, track giving you vision in that sandstorm. Pretty important there. And the big head has... looks to be an urn finished, so he might be going for ganking. He's actually just sitting in the lane trying to farm up, which is something that you can do, but I like to see Night Stalker's gank at the first, the first nighttime. And he's going to TP out, actually. I don't know if this might be caught by the Radiant. He will TP down to the bottom lane. They're going to look for a fight here. Luna, I don't know if Luna 6 does not have a clip, so this could be a big fight. Track on to the Luna is going to back off, realizing that the Night Stalker is missing. Smart play there. TPing on the backside, actually, is Soriko Suave, who is here. He's actually invisible as well. They might look to fight this, but Soriko Suave, he has this Aegis. He can play aggressively, which is why he's here, I'd imagine, in the first place. Dagon is the choice for the Furion. Interesting pickup. Here comes the dive from the big head. He's going to take an impale to the face. He'll back off for the time being. Silence going on the Primetime. He's tracked up as well. Ray Lottery, nice body block coming in on Soriko Suave. They're trying to get this kill. Primetime will, in fact, go down. There's construction. Van is here as well. Will Soriko Suave go down is the question. He still has that Aegis, so remember that. On the backside, there's not a whole lot of help coming from his team. He's still surviving somehow. He's going to sprout himself. There's the Aegis. And will he go down just with the Aegis pop? Maybe. There's going to be the Burrow Strike on an Impale, might fly next, and there it is. And Soriko Suave might go down here. He's going to try to TP out. Will he make it in time is the question. Yes, he does, just barely. Here's ZZZ on the backside. Ray Lottery still alive. Dagon finished up for the Nature's Prophet, and he just barely survives, but he does lose that Aegis. And, of course, I think the Night Stalker went down as well.
Structures are fortified.
Turned into be an interesting trade, really. Looking at the graphs, though, about 4,000 going to the side of the Dire in terms of experience, that Roshan really helping. 3,000 in terms of gold. The last hits going their way with the exception of Luna, who has got 43 right now. Levels, you can see Fox getting some nice experience from that kill there, or that assist, I believe, on Soriko, no, not Soriko, the Night Stalker. And on the backside, he kills the Shadow Demon just by TPing in. And that's the aggressive play that you can get from the team. So, nice stuff there. He's going to try to push this mid lane with the Treants, or just last hit. As you can see, the wave is across the lane, so he'll have to push it across the river. So that is a Dagon level 1. I don't know if he's going to go for level 2, level 3 Dagon, what he'll go for next. That does provide him a bit of damage as well. A lot of heroes coming in here for the side of the Dire. They're going to try to pressure this. Fan is... he's going to get tracked up here in just a second, so there's the silence going in as well. Fan in some trouble. The Janata and the Strike going to come in from the Dagon, going to get the kill there. They're going to try to continue to push this. And they should be able to have this tower without much problem. And that same team is dead. Wolfen is coming in, but he won't be in time. On the high ground, you do see Ray Lottery is here. They have no vision from there. Actually, I haven't seen other getting vision. There's going to be silence. Ray Lottery taking a lot of damage. Nice Sprout coming in. He's going to try to TP out. Cancel immediately. The big head will be able to pick up that kill from the Night Stalker. So UCSF, San Fran doing a very good job right now. Fox and the side of Berkeley sort of on their heels, as you can see, especially after that early Roshan attempt, which allowed Soyrico Swag to play a little bit more aggressively with this Dagon, with help from dives from the side of the Night Stalker, which is really what he excels at, especially even in the first night, you can really afford to dive, but with those earn charges, you allow yourself to heal up pretty quickly, so they're in a position where, as long as it's nighttime, they can play aggressively, and even later on into the game, even if it's not night, they can play pretty aggressively. And an Invis rune up for the Night Stalker, and this is not what you want to have to deal with if you're on the side of Berkeley. So Fox and Fan have to be careful. Of course, Fox not even level 6 yet, so he's going to be in a position where he cannot Vendetta for quite some time, maybe another 5 minutes. There's going to be an Impale onto the Big Head. Sand King's going to be going with the Epicenter, and Big Head is taking a lot of damage. He is going to go down. Nice play there with that Impale from Fox to make sure he stayed in the same position. A big kill coming out from Fan, and I think that's exactly what they wanted. Top lane being pressured by Swab, while the bottom lane is being pressured by two heroes, both Deicing Lasers as well as Brobosaurus. They're going to back off for the time being. Prime Time getting something flown out was a Drum of Endurance. BKB will probably be next. And Soyrico Swab will continue to pressure this tower with his Trance. Still only Dagon level 1. He's got Treads now, as you can see, so going for that right-click damage. And ZZZ in the mid lane right now with a bottle of his own. How many people have bottles here? 1, 2, 3. So 3 people with bottles. Enigma now has actually a mech on him. Meanwhile, bottom tower will be denied. Primetime is going to use his drum to get it out of there as well. On the backside, ZZZ is going to track up Fan, and Fan is in some trouble right now. ZZZ with Shuriken Toss. Not going to be enough. Disruption going to fly in from Ray Lottery. And TP rotation coming from Fox. Soul Catcher going to go as well. No vision, though, I don't think, for either of these heroes. Doesn't look like it, no. And now the Big Head and Brobosaurus, as well as the Enigma Deicing Laser, is going to be a little bit more aggressive down here. ZZ will rotate down, and of course, Soyrico Swap can TP in about 12 seconds, or with a TP scroll into the tower, but he's probably just going to use his spell to TP right on top of these guys. And this tower's pretty low as well. He might actually just try to push this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
ultimate available in about 5 seconds.
Radiant's
bottom tower being pressured, as you can see. So the split pushing is going very well for the side of San Fran. I like this strategy. I like the carry Nature's Prophet. I think the mid lane worked out pretty well for him, but now a lot of rotations coming in from the side of Berkeley. They want to try to fight this. Track is up on Nyx Assassin. He's still only level 5, so even if he Vendettas, well, he can't Vendettas, so there's no problem there. Top tower is going to be taken, however, in the meantime, by Soyrico Swap. Will he buy Dagon level 2 was the question. He's got enough money to do so. And 3 to 5 at 12 minutes in the game. Not as exciting as maybe some of the other games still. A little bit of tension for both teams, I think, right now. 5,000 in terms of experience going on the side of San Fran. Gold is about 7,500, so the game is not as close as it seems, just specifically because of tower pushing, tower presence. Primetime is desperately trying to get farm, not really working for him. They didn't get kills in this tri-lane. If this was an aggressive tri-lane, I think against the other tri-lane, they probably would have been a lot better off, just specifically because they have the better composition, I think. Meanwhile, Fan's going to go in with an Impale on Brobosaurus. He's got Lucent Beam of his own. He's going to try to telekinesis Fan up on the high ground. It's not going to happen. There's going to be a steal from the side of Brobosaurus to burrow strike him way out of there. ZZZ on the backside, maybe looking for a fight here. Fox is tracked up, still only level 5, as you can see. And ZZZ will actually back out, so a lot of harassment, not a whole lot of, like, actual do work in this game. I mean, 3 to 5. I mean, what's been really excelling for the dire side of this team is pushing specifically. They have heroes that can do it effectively. I mean, the Enigma, despite his early death, is doing just fine. He's got that mech. He's going for BKB next, as you can see. He still has a salve in case they want to do that again. Meanwhile, Sand King actually going to get a kill on Soyrico Swap up the top lane, which I do miss. Buyback coming in immediately. There's the TP coming in on Wolfen. Sprout does miss, however. Wolfen will try to surge out. Trouble to surge. Nice Malthus up on the high ground from Deicing Lasers. There's the Void as well. Wolfen should go down here. Slowed still. Slowed. Is the Sprout available? It doesn't look like it. Yes, actually it is, but it doesn't need it. Soyrico Swap will get the kill there. That is the last tip for him.
Life will make its home amongst your
and Sand King gets out just in time as well. And a lot of people, I think, would agree with me in saying that, yeah, I think an aggressive tri-lane would have made this at least a little bit more competitive, just because when you're up against a bounty hunter, if you're not going to actively try to get wards, keep playing back to your tower and try to go for a kill, it's not going to work well. And Fox didn't get any sort of experience. He's still level 5, and you look at the levels. Actually, he's tied with Ray Lottery now for level 5, which isn't really too far behind level 6 in terms of the Rubik. But he actually has Arcane Boots. He's got a bit of farm. He's warding. I mean, they've got the vision. They've got everything going for them right now. So, once again, San Fran in a position to take this and take their first lead of the series when they did lose the first game to Berkeley with a nice strategy with the Phantom Lancer and the Codal and the Shadow Demon. But now, Berkeley hasn't been really playing bad. It's just that these strategies, I think, are a little bit better from the side of San Fran. Regen Rune is bottled up for the side of the Big Head, and he's got those Shreds finished up as well. And now they're just sort of farming right now. So Rico Suave just content to sit around and just farm some more creeps. 2,000 gold in the bank. I'm not really sure what he's getting. Something's flying out. Bottle to ZZZ is going to be crowed, if you will. Looking at items. I mean, the first real big items for the carries aren't really... I mean, Dagon, I guess, if you want to talk about Dagon as a big item, is there. In terms of prime time, he's going for BKB again. As you can see, he has the Ogre Club. Still probably pretty far away from it, as you can see. Yeah, and still only 1 point in Lunar Blessing left, and the Glaives need to be maxed out as well to start farming a little bit more efficiently. No stacking of Ancients just yet. And Fox now is Vendetted up. No Sentry Wards here in the mid lane. Could go on DSing lasers, but he's 3 levels ahead of him. Surgical Swab is level 12 there, and with backup as well. Fox maybe going to go on decent lasers. Meanwhile, on the backside, they're going to go onto ZZZ. Do they have any vision is the question. It doesn't look like it. The Epicenter are going to fly, not going to do a darn thing on the backside. Decent laser is going to hit Fox up with the Malphite, and Spike Traver's going as well. Here's a Dagon kill with Suave on the backside. Still chasing. Fan is going to back out. And I don't know if they had vision, if there was a Sentry Ward there. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a Sentry, so... Unless they had Dust, which... Oh, they did. Sand King used it. Okay. My apologies for not noticing that quickly. Primetime still trying to farm, trying to do whatever he can to get some last hits and make sure that he can try to carry this into the mid to late game. Another Roshan attempt coming in from the side of the Dire here on the side of San Fran, and another quick one should be happening, as you can see. I mean, they've got the Treants, they've got the Eidolons, they've got the damage here coming in from the Night Stalker. Now Mecha as well, in case they need to tank this guy up, but they're not doing it the quickest, but there's still not enough time for Berkeley to really try to counter it. Regardless, it will probably go to Soy Rico Swap, and yes, it will. He's got 3,200 in the bank right now. He's actually going to TP out and let it go to the Night Stalker in the meantime. And Nature's Prophet will use his ultimate to get the kill on Primetime up in the top lane. And he's going to sprout himself. Fan now going to Burrow Strike in there. Now Soy Rico Swap ends has no TP available for 8 seconds. He's going to get vacuumed and he will go down. So he does get the Luna kill for his own life, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Dust going to be popped up here. They're going to try to chase after ZZ. Dust was, in fact, popped, and there's no way to catch him, though, I don't think. Phase Boot's just too fast for ZZ. He can just get out so quickly. So the Luna's BKB is pushed back a little bit further, once again, like the previous game. But Furion does go down. He'd bought something before he died. Probably put it on the courier. It's an Orchid. Well, most of an Orchid, anyway. And remember, this is game number 3. It is tied 1-1 right now. It is a best-of-5 series, so we will be going to another game after this one for sure. But whether we go to a game 5 or not is entirely up to these teams. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me here on Neo Dota. I'm Maut. Anytime I see a bottle on the ground now, I'm just going to be like, no, don't do that. We saw what happened in the second game. 7,500 experience going to the side of San Fran. Gold at about 12,000 right now. They have a lead that is going to be tough to overcome. I mean, Primetime needs to get some farm, and he needs it pretty quickly. The problem is, this BKB is going to be still another, like, 1,400, 1,500 gold away after. He does have 1 point in Glaive. He'll be getting 1 point in Eclipse, or another point in Eclipse in just a minute. Top lane is being pressured now by DSing lasers and 2 other heroes as well. Mid is ZZZ. TP coming in as well from the Furion here. He's going to push this as well. No Orchid just yet. He did finish up the 2 Oblivion staffs before he died, which is a very smart maneuver. Level 6 for Ray Lottery right now. He's not had a whole lot of success. God, I can't say that word, on the side of the Shadow Demon. He does have dust and regular boots, and that's about it. And he is squishy. Heck, he's got 644 HP. That is not a whole lot in comparison to Nick's Assassin, who's only one level ahead of him and has about 800. Vendetta coming up. There's going to be Knight being popped by the big head. They are maybe looking to fight here at the tier 2 tower. On the backside, Fox does see this here, as well as de-icing lasers. There's no vision. There's no sentries right now. If there were, Fox would be absolutely destroyed, dead, for sure. But there are 2 heroes here. There's not been a black hole used this entire game, I don't think. I haven't seen one, at least. And they want to try to push this tower. The Treants are here. Cerebral Swap doesn't have his orbit just yet. He still needs a few hundred gold to get that. All 5 heroes here for both teams right now. Looking for some sort of initiation. Wolfen might be the one to take it. There's a vacuum coming in on the Treants, just trying to push them back. This tower will go down regardless of whether or not they try to defend, it looks like. And it will go down. Furion getting the kill on that tower. And there's nothing Berkeley can do right now, and I don't blame them for not fighting with that. I mean, they have Eclipse, yes, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot you can do. I think you want Prime Time to have his BKB before you really feel good about fighting anything. 5-8's the score. In a game that's been pretty tedious in terms of kills and deaths and things of that nature, the pressure and tension has been coming from fights for towers, pushing, things of that nature, and even dives to a certain extent. And when you don't have the highest kill count in the game, it often seems like it drags on for a while, but I find that this sort of tower pressure, race against the clock style gameplay is pretty fun and pretty interesting to watch. So that's just my opinion. I think Cerebral Swap has been playing immaculately with that Orphan level once finished up on him. Fox having a tough time. He is Vendetta up now, though, and he might go for a kill here on somebody. Looks like he will try to initiate. There's the initiation onto Cerebral Swap. The epicenter going as well, hitting on 2. Eclipse flying as well. That's the immediate H pop. There's a black hole. It's a big one, but not a whole lot of damage coming in. Wolfen might go down here. There's a mech being popped, however. Ray Lottery taking a bit of damage. There's going to be the vacuum of the wall as well. Cal is going to try to turn this around right now. Too much damage. This might be an entire team wipe. Buyback happens from the big head, but he's all alone right now. Nobody going down on the side of the Radiant. The big head trying to get out, and he might do so. He probably will. There's a blink coming in from Pan. The body block's happening. He's going to try to get out of there as quickly as possible. Lucent Beam, not enough mana for an Impale yet, and the big head should be able to get out, but a huge fight. Essentially a team wipe if you don't count the buyback coming in from the Night Stalker. He'll get out alive. But that is exactly what they needed. Oh, man. Everything was perfect about that. The initiation from Fox, they were surprised there were no Sentry Wards really laid down. I mean, there was one right there, but it was not in time. Followed up by that epicenter into the Eclipse, which killed 2 of their heroes essentially immediately. And there was no buyback for the Furion. He couldn't get back in there in time. And what happened was there was the black hole, and it was enough damage, but the mech came out afterwards from the Darkseer, followed up by the wall and the vacuum, which was just so much damage. And look at the experience just drastically shoot upwards. Now. And we look at the gold as well. It's about a 10,000 gold experience. Or, excuse me, gold difference. But still, it's a little bit less than it was previously. And, man, that was a big fight for them. Somebody in chat said if UCSF plays the way they've been playing, they can continue and win this game. But I mean, you still need about 3 or 4 more fights if you're on the side of Cal. That was a good start, I think. It's a good start for that fight. And ZZZ going to continue to try to farm level 11 for him, as you can see. The experience is pretty even right now. You look at the Radiant. The problem is Ray Lottery is a little far behind, but he'll be able to get back into it. He's looking for more items. He's really needs like a bracer. At least one bracer would just make me feel better about his chances of survival in any team fight. He's surprisingly survived that last team fight, barely, but he did. And Cerebral Swap going to try to farm these ancient stacks here, or stack them up, it looks like, or just, no, he's not stacking them, he's just going to try to farm them. Doesn't have the most right-click damage, but he's got quite a bit, and the Dagon also helps, but that Dagon will not be useful against Luna, who will have a BKB very soon. BKB is actually flying out to the Night Stalker right now. He's got it, as we talk about it. And the Mithril Hammer on the Courier, there's the recipe, so also getting one is Prime Time, but that's really like his second big item, whereas, actually, Night Stalker, that's really his first big item. I mean, Urn's not that big of a deal. Bottom lane is going to get pressured here. This is the next tier 2 for engagement. Ultimates, I don't think, are up yet. Actually, all of them are, except for Nyx, who is actually on cooldown for another 12 seconds. But still, this tier 2 tower will, in fact, go down. Furion getting that kill. And no mounted defense coming from the side of Cal. And this is really where it gets difficult. Roshan's not up for another about 4 minutes. And they try to push this tower. It didn't go well for them. And especially pushing into a tier 3 might not be the best move here. I don't think that they can really take this fight. In fact, Soruka Swab will TP out up into the top lane. He's going to try to pressure this with 4 here down to the backside.
Regeneration.
Looking to continue pressure on this bottom lane. I think if Cal looks for an opening right now, they can absolutely find it here if San Fran stays too long. But they will TP up into the top lane. And this is the problem. Soruka Suave can get out at a moment's notice. He's got his TP available, but the Vendetta up on the side of Fox. Where's the initiation? There's the Impale. Soruka Suave will, in fact, go down. So they do get that kill. But now this leaves some room for a little bit more pressure down here in the bottom lane. Black Hole is available for Enigma. They're going to back off, though. Without their carry, they're not going to try to fight this. A nice pick off there for Fan as well as Fox. Oh, that's right. It wasn't a bad back. Yeah, just... Okay. My apologies. Prime time. Prime time. Going to continue to farm. Now, if we go and take a look back at what happened in the previous games, we saw Berkeley play a very solid first game. They had a tri-lane with Ray Lottery, Shadow Demon. We saw Fan on the Keeper of the Light and Prime Time on the Phantom Lancer, which is one of the strongest tri-lanes in the game, I think, right now. The second game, they had a similar lineup to what they have now, but they lost it because of a very farmed FNC-style Mages play. And ZZZ throwing up the track. There's Dust. The Impale might fly soon from Fan. The haste is actually up on ZZZ. They need more. There's the Lucent Beam and the Vacuum. Not enough in time. Another Impale is up in 3 seconds. He's still chasing on the backside. Meanwhile, though, they're going to pick off Nyx Assassin with the Niche Prophet. There goes the Eclipse, not dealing damage to the Big Head. Vacuum could be coming for a second. TP actually coming out. Wolfen trying to get out as well. There's the Shuriken Toss. Wolfen will not get out. So 2 down for nothing, essentially, there. Not the best fight if you're on the side of Berkeley, but still. You only lost 2 there. Not the worst thing in the world, and your carry got out just in time, so... But this could be a free Roshan attempt here for San Francisco. It'll be up in about 10 to 20 seconds. And Prime Time continuing to farm this bottom lane. ZZZ is going to get a DD rune and going to try to head down there and maybe look for a kill. Prime Time realizing he's staying too long. He's going to head back to the base. Maybe thinking about smoking up. There's a bunch of grouped up heroes here. There's one on Shadow Demon. It looks like they will try to go for a smoke. Maybe we can test this Roshan. It is up now. They would know that if they wrote down the time. I imagine they did. ZZZ on the backside. There is a Radiant Sentry Ward here, so if they even come close to Prime Time, if ZZZ comes close to Prime Time, they'll kill him. Roshan, though, taking a lot of damage, as you can see, and I don't think there's a way they can contest this. This should go down before they get there if they smoke now, which they're not doing. So Roshan will go down again. The Big Head might pick it up, or Soul equals Suave. In fact, it will be the Furion himself picking up this Roshan. Aegis. The Cheese will actually go for Nature's Prophet, and the Aegis will be going for the side of the Big Head. So reverse that, whatever I just said. And Soyrico Suave now, going for what seems to be a BKB next. He's very close, actually. A few hundred gold away from that, and that's going to make it even more difficult for Berkeley. And looking at the graphs real quick, you see about 2,500 experience, very close to 0 at one point, but now back down to 2,500. Gold is at 15,000 in gold, difference in gold, so Dire have got quite the item lead. But Cal Berkeley, don't count them out. And you look at the levels right now, 16 going for the side of the Furion, 2 levels ahead of the next closest person, which is that Sand King. He's also got the highest net worth by quite a margin. In fact, where is he? Did he finish up that BKB? Yes, he did. So there's it's a lot of big items. It's still only Dagon level 1, which is still 400 burst damage when you think about it. Really good for picking up supports, like a Nyx Assassin, which he's done a pretty good job with. ZZZ continuing to farm the jungle. Still has that DD rune bottled up. It'll be popped in... Well, it should be popped soon.
Double damage!
And Prime Time. Going for that Yasha, as you can see. Just needs the recipe. A few hundred gold away from that. On the backside, ZZZ really wants this kill. Might be able to get it. Let's see how much damage he does here. He's going to get initiated. The Shuriken Toss might fly. The TP coming in as well. The BKB is going to save his life. Going to try to TP out might not be able to get it, won't. In fact, the Bounty Hunter getting that track kill, big pickup for them. Luna down now for 47 seconds, not enough to buy back. They can certainly take this tier 3 now, or excuse me, tier 2.
Radiant's top tower
This is an easy tower for them now. A nice gank from both of those heroes. A nice Stalker coming in there as well to provide a little bit of moral support. All 5 are up here in the top lane right now. DSing lasers, Blink, BKB, Black Hole could be coming relatively soon if they're all bunched up by this tower here, and they're staying pretty far away. Not surprisingly, because of course 20 seconds left for Luna to respawn. Wall Replica is going to fly. A nice wall, doing a bit of damage, but there's no follow-up damage here. We'll just pressure them back there. There's the Sprout onto Wolfen. He's taking some damage. There's the Dagon as well. He's got Surge. He's going to back off for the time being. There's the Epicenter going right now. The big head is BKB popped. There's the Black Hole onto 2. Fan not getting into it, but Wolfen should go down here. Fox as well. Fox is going to get disrupted. Ray Lottery, nice job there. The big head going to try to get out. Still has the Aegis chasing after Fan right now. He's got a burrow strike, but he's not going to be able to get it in time. So that's 2 down right now. Ray Lottery is manaless at this point. Fox is back. Sand King will buy back as well. Soriko Suave still has the cheese on him. There's still the Aegis on the big head. All the ults are pretty much down though. Fox is here. Is there Eclipse? Is there Eclipse? There is. There's the ultimate coming out right now. Aegis is popped as well. The creep's taking up a lot of this damage. Primetime does not want this to go awry. In fact, it is going awry right now. No kills just yet for the side of the Radiant. They really need something to go on here. ZZZ doing a bit of damage. Going to get hit up. There's going to be disruption as well. Sentry Ward going to fly off as well. Fan will, in fact, excuse me, Primetime getting the kill on ZZZ. That's the first kill for the side of the Radiant. And they defend the tower, so there's always that. Aegis was popped. Was cheese used is the question. I don't think it was. Oh, it was, actually. So Aegis was popped. They did defend. They wasted all of their ults. They somehow were able to sort of defend, despite the fact that Luna was not available. However, the fights, of course, going for the side of San Francisco. They got more kills there. 7,500 in terms of experience now. It's dropped pretty dramatically since the past 5-10 minutes-ish. 20,000 in terms of gold. And this is the big deal here. This is the number that really screams to me that this game is probably going to go to the side of San Francisco. I mean, and this is a big if Cal can take at least 1 or 2 team fights, they might be in a position where they can really contest this game, but they have not taken a tower yet. Look, Tier 1, Tier 1, Tier 1. They've been flying on their back heels the entire game, specifically because of this guy and this guy. They've been able to push pretty consistently, and not even in the same lane a lot of the time. They'll split push, TP in one lane, go into another. Skullbasher finish up for the Night Stalker. Only could have provide for more damage and more disabling. So, Chrysalis is also up on the Furion, as you can see. Crit is the next choice for him. Plate Mail up on the Darkseers, trying to get a Shiva's Guard, I'd have to imagine. And they need a nice fight to go their way, but it's going to be tough. De-Essing Lasers does not have Black Hole for another minute. And the big head is here with his Skullbasher, as well as a TP Scroll. He's going to leave his bottle on the courier for the time being. And Luna continuing to farm, has that Yasha finished up finally, which is nice. In a 32-minute game with only 24 kills. Not the biggest barn burner in the world, but an entertaining game nonetheless. I mean, the team fights have been spectacular, so I can't really complain. It's just that, Cal is so far behind in every regard. I mean, net worth, Luna's behind 3 heroes. Levels, I mean, Furion's ahead by 2 levels, but still, I mean, this is pretty even, at least, which is nice. So, UCal needs some sort of a miracle here. And people are talking in chat about how if this goes late game, I think that they have the better team, and that's absolutely true. But that requires Luna to get farm, and a lot of it. Like, BKB, Drum is nice, Yasha as well, but you need, like, the Manta style, you need the Butterfly, you need, like, a Satanic with a Helm of the Dominator, something like that. I think would be really useful. But right now they're pushing bottom lane out. Maybe looking for kills. ZZZ is here. Do they have any sort of sentries? There's the dust. ZZZ going to get impaled. And the, Ferocious and Impale flying off. Fox getting the kill there. So Fox had a rough game early on, but now he's actually starting to come back. You can see he's level 12. He's eclipsing the Rubik in terms of levels. And his primary reason for that is Vendetta. Has been super useful. And really what you need to do, I think, if you're on the side of the Dire, to really make sure you don't make any mistakes like the one you just made, is have sentries covered in the map. I mean, like, you've won enough team fights where it shouldn't be a problem to buy sentries, especially Enigma. You shouldn't be having, I mean, I guess if you're trying to save for buyback, absolutely save this amount of money, but you need to be having sentries essentially everywhere, and Robosaurus is doing that. They're trying to counter ward right here, but you really need it in areas where you're pushing too, which they've done a good job of too. I'm not saying that they haven't had any sentries at all. but think they need a little bit more sentry ward coverage. Of course, I'm not. It's easy to be in a casting perspective and say they need to do this, this, or this.
Double damage.
When I'm actually not playing in the game, so take that with all consideration in mind. I think regardless, San Francisco is in a position where it'd be very hard to lose this game. I mean, this really tells the story. This is a lot of gold. Experience, maybe not as much, but 20,000 is a lot of gold, and you can see it, it shows. I mean, Blink, BKB, Mech, still tier 1 boots, but looks like a 4-staff for Rubik next. I mean, Furion's pretty farm, Basher for the Night Stalker, and Bounty Hunter has a BKB of his own. So, I mean, it's going to be incredibly tough because you're relying a lot of the time on Luna and Eclipse, as well as the Wall of Replica, which BKB sort of mitigates. And we're sort of in this like Mexican standoff right now, where no team wants to really make the first blow, but there is going to be a smoke gank, and this is going to be the sort of first aggression I've seen from the side of San Fran in quite some time. They've been a little bit more dormant. They're going to go after Wolfen, who's got Surge available. No BKB, and Nighttime lights just in time, actually, and Wolfen is going to try to Surge out. There's going to be the Void and the Silence as well, and Alpha's going. Void going to fly. There's going to be the right-click from Sawyer, Rico Swab, and that's going to be it. BKB was popped for whatever reason for the Night Stalker. Regardless, they get the kill on the Dark Seer. I don't think he can buy back. Well, maybe he can. He absolutely can. Never mind. So they're going to try to push into this, and he'll buy right back, and maybe they'll think twice about going in here. No Aegis, no Cheese. BKB's available. Lucent Beam flying out. Iron Shell doing a bit of pushing this back, and I think Soriko Swap's just... Let's back up, maybe. I think that's a good idea. He's going to TP over to the Roshan pit. Not available. He's actually going to buy something here. Demon Edge, I believe, or something. Maybe not. No, he's actually just going to farm the Ancients. I think he was just checking to see if it was up yet. Perhaps. So Cal doing whatever they can to get room for this Luna to farm. Ultimate Orb is up. Manta Style should be done momentarily. The recipe is going to fly out, as you can see. That's going to provide a little bit more damage. Level 16 for the Luna. Net worth is now eclipsing the Night Stalker, so there's that. A lot more damage there with that Manta Style finished up, but still needs a little bit more, I think. Regardless, though, that's going to provide you, I think, at least a little bit of an incentive to fight, because you have that Manta Style. And Luna with the Manta Style is sort of a scary thing. If you get out on a few more items, it's even more scary, but still, a lot of items for prime time right now. Not as much as, obviously, Soyuriko Suave. He's got what seems to be a full Daedalus flying out to him right now. And Ultimate Orb is up on de-essing lasers, by the way. Which will be probably a Hex Stick for him. Waiting for the Roche Timer. Should be now-ish. As you can see, it's heading towards the ground. There it goes. So it does pop off. Once again, UC Berkeley cannot contest this. And this is going to be the moment of truth. If they can push in, and if they can defend this aggression coming in from San Fran, they could potentially turn this around. I mean, they've held some fights for a long period of time. This is not only the first cheese, it's the second cheese. Soyurko Swab has the cheese once again. Night Stalker going for the Aegis. He actually has a Gem of True Sight, and that could be a big deal. And if they don't know that's up on the Night Stalker, that could be huge, because Fox could easily get turned on and killed very quickly. Darkness is going to continuously be used on cooldown, as you can see. I like this new icon, it's very nice. Bottom lane being pressured by Soyurko Suave. That Daedalus is finished up for him, so that's a little bit more damage going his way. Once again, this is tied 1-1 right now. San Fran with the advantage in the game. Of course, it is a best of 5, so it will go to a game 4 regardless. The game 5 is dependent on how that game goes. The game 4, I should say. Once again, I am Maut, M-A-U-T. You can read it up here. Thanks for watching. CDL is a tradition. I like to think of it like college football game day or college basketball game day. Hopefully one day it'll be big enough in Dota where it's the same. And teams have fans, team pride. Regardless, here's the push coming into the bottom lane right now. A big fight will be happening soon. Looks like there's the wall of Replica. Vacuum onto 2 right now onto the 2 carries, in fact. There's the BKB going onto the big head. It is a 6-second duration, it looks like, or 5, or 7, excuse me. They will back off. They're not going to push into this now. BKB charge is down. Wall, they're going to wait for maybe it to go down. Eclipse is still available. But the BKB is not for the big head, which is a big deal. He does have the Aegis still, so maybe not as big of a deal. Soriko Suave still has his cheese also. He's not going to use it just yet. He's got an Orchid as well as his BKB charge not. His BKB is off cooldown, as you can see. The big head might wait 33 seconds to try to fight anything. Track up on Wolfen. They're thinking about just sort of a standstill right now. Not a whole lot going. There is this dire ward here. They're going to throw a sentry down and kill it immediately. The track vision is still going to be given to the side of the dire, so they're not going to wait to push in. They're still waiting to push in, as you can see. BKB should be finished up for the big head in 11 seconds. As you can see, they'll push in after that's happening. The tier 3 is already at half health right now. And Berkeley, this is the moment of truth right now. This is going to be one of the toughest defenses I think you could muster here against this sort of team. And the big head will take some glaive damage. He still has that Aegis, but he doesn't want to waste it. They're going to just try to right-click this tower down, Sprout onto Fox, and immediately taking a lot of damage. There's the Aegis going down, however, so Aegis for Fox still, he'll be right back up right now. In fact, there's the tower. Fortification is going to fly. They're going to back now. It doesn't look like they should be going any further. Bounty Hunter will buy right back. Bounty Hunter went down, surprisingly. I don't think Eclipse was used. No, it wasn't, actually. I don't know when the Bounty Hunter went down, but he did go down. He did buy back. I don't know if he's got boots of travel. It doesn't look like he does. He's just going to try to run as quickly as possible. Here's the Raxes. Wall replica up. Again, there's going to be the wall. The vacuum. The vacuum. No, the silence coming in from the big head. A big silence. The Epicenter going to fly up, however. There's Soriko Suave. Black hole on the Wolfen hitting one. Robosaurus going to go down first. Wolfen taking more damage. The double wall. Looks like Robosaurus might have taken it, but Night Stalker is going to go down. There's the buyback coming in from the Nature's Prophet on the backside. ZZZ trying to kill Primetime, who's taking a bit of damage. Here comes Fan. There's the Impale, the Burrow Strike, I should say. ZZZ taking some damage. There's going to be the Lucent Beam, and they defend once again. Here's the TP on the backside. Suave not in a good position at all. Mana Burn going in as well, and that's going to be it. Another defense coming in from UC Berkeley. Somehow, they defend the line again. When everything looked bad, with that black hole, they still survived. Even the silence, the vacuum was not able to be set up. And it was stolen, too. The Wall of Replica was stolen by the Rubik. But just, it wasn't enough for San Fran to take it. And now, arrows being drawn everywhere from Wolfen, just saying, push a freaking lane. I want a tier 1 tower. 10,000 experience now, gold actually still at 25,000 somehow. But curving slightly upward. This game is a roller coaster ride of emotions. 18-18 at 42 minutes in the game. And some of the best defense that I've seen in quite some time. Literally defending the Ancients. That's a bad pun. I hate myself for saying that. I'm pretty ashamed. BKB's actually up on the Sand King. I didn't notice that before. Let's take a look at the items. I haven't seen that in a while. Blink's up on Fan. Has been for a while as well. Manta we talked about on Primetime already. There's a gem on Nyx, but he's down for... well, he's alive. He's only level 13, however. Level 10, Shadow Demon, Ray Lottery. Base Lottery not having a good game right now. Shiva should be finished for Darkseer relatively soon. Basher's up on the Night Stalker. Drums up on ZZZ, the BKB on Enigma. We already talked about that. The Ultimate Orb will be finishing up probably a Scythe device pretty soon, I'd have to imagine. 4-step up on the Rubik. Everything the same for the Furion. So I want to see current gold right now. Actually leading the way is the Night Stalker. He's got buyback available for sure, I'd have to imagine. He didn't buy back for that previous fight. Luna also has plenty of money for buyback if necessary, but not sure if she wants to go for an item like a butterfly. Helm would be nice too. Abyssal Blade is finished up for the Night Stalker. That is dangerous. That is no more buyback gold, however. They cannot push in without Roshan, though, as you've seen in the past. They really don't feel comfortable doing it. I mean, they can. I just don't think they're going to. It's a marathon of casting. It's best of 5 series. It does quite a bit of damage. 2, 3, and 6. Not the... This is really the kill line. That's pretty interesting. 11 kills for this this Furion, really putting the team on his back for most of the beginning part of this game, but somehow turtling is Berkeley. Butterfly is the next choice for the side of Luna. Needs that Eagle Song, which is a few thousand gold away, 1,000-ish gold away. 1,200. 1,400. I agree, this is good fights, but why are you saying ugh? I find this very intriguing. I mean, I don't... If you're rooting for a team, I guess this must be annoying if you're like, yeah, go San Fran, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they're definitely going to win. They've got a 25,000 gold advantage, and then they just like bang their head up against a set of racks for like 20
Warriors of the
minutes.
wood.
I guess that would be frustrating to deal with, especially if you're on the side of San Fran. Like, they've tried everything. What they haven't tried is a Necrobook. I think a Necrobook could help, in my opinion, because not only would you get True Sight, you'd also get potential to have stronger pushes, which, I mean, you already have pretty strong pushes, and it'd also deal a lot of damage on death, obviously, those Necrobook warriors. And the sentry placement has been pretty immaculate for the side of the Radiant, too. If you think about it, anytime they've tried to push in, it's been tough. But here's another big fight. Silence onto Wolfen right now. There's the Impale going into the big head. He has his Abyssal. There might be a Black Hole. There's the BKB Black Hole only onto Fox right now. The Silence is going to go. There's the Epicenter, not hitting on too many. The Wall Replica as well. There's the Eclipse vacuuming in right now. Primetime taking a bit of damage. Primetime can probably buy back. There's a disruption on the Night Stalker ZZ, taking a lot of damage as well. The big head on the backside, as well as Surgical Swap is taking a lot of his own damage from his illusion. He's going to try to get out. 1 for 2 trade right now. And Wolfen's going to get the kill on Surgical Swap, who can probably buy back. Primetime trying to right-click down the big head. He's got a Lucent Beam in 1. Still very, very fast. And can't catch him, but still the line is held. Rax is not dead. In fact, barely touched. And a nice defense once again from the side. Oh, but the Burrow Strike coming into Primetime right now. This could be trouble, but the Burrow Strike coming right back on the side of Fan. There's going to be 1 kill. There's 2, and that's an entire team wipe. A huge pickup with a double kill with Primetime. And again, they hold the line somehow. And that's going to be an Eagle Song, which means a Butterfly for sure for Primetime, and also pretty close to buyback money afterwards as well. So it's not over until an insert cliche phrase here. This still is sitting around 25,000 gold. I don't know how. The experience is a little bit less daunting. Thank you, Null, for correcting my math. I'm pretty terrible at it. Butterfly is finished up for Primetime. Needs a good deal more of money, though, to really afford a buyback. At least, I'd say 2,000-ish to be safe. Probably even more. That's what I figured, David.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Will they be able to get a tier 1 is the question. No, this is where all of the money is being stored. These towers, the tier 1s, all of the money is right here. They're going to take 1 just from Luna's Illusions. Finally, their first tower of the game. Fan, no, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? There's a BKB. He shouldn't be there. He realizes this, and they'll deny the tower, unfortunately. But it could have been a lot worse. Man, he blinked out of there. He's going to TP out. That could have been dangerous. Fan with a good play just to get himself alive. Actually, they're eclipsing the Nature's Prophet now in levels. So, wow. This is getting ridiculous.
Top tower is under attack.
And we talked about going late into the game. It's getting late. And Luna is getting dangerous. Roshan is up again.
Top tower is under
This is the
attack.
3rd cheese Roshan. It's almost like sudden death overtime right now. I mean, there's got to be buybacks for, like, everybody. Or just 2 people, I guess. Maybe not. I want to keep my eye on this. This might be the first Roshan they would be able to contest, but they're not in a position to really contest it. Roshan is going down way too fast, I think. But, that being said, this is a good bait, especially with Night Stalker not here. Oh, I don't want them to go in on this. Roshan will go down. Wolfen's going to immediately say, screw that. And he backs off. Night Stalker's going to take up the Aegis. Suave will pick up the cheese. He's got an MKB of his own. Oh God, Rabid Duck. That's an awful joke. Oh, that made me laugh. Kudos. And sitting around here on this this bottom lane of Rax, which is where the majority of the fights have been for the past 20 minutes, has been absolutely ridiculous. Surgical Swap going to push out the top lane in the meantime. His damage is pretty high, 223. It's a lot of damage. Also a lot of damage, however, is this. And a Helm of the Dominator. Not sure if this was the best pickup because you want to save for buyback, but I guess if you're going to try to fight, nah, it's now or never. But he can't really afford to get caught out, which he absolutely could be by a blink, black hole. Like, even a black hole for just Luna might be worth it, I'd say. But that's not going to happen. The illusions are pushing this wave back pretty well. But that, of course, means that the Mantis Style is on cooldown for another few seconds, 35 to be exact. However, Suave is not here. He can TP, however, down with his teammates. He's actually got him Orbit Mask. I imagine that'll be a Mask of Madness. He actually has no boots right now, which is not a big deal if you're going to try to fight. But Scythe of Eyes and is finished up for the Enigma right now. Track up on Prime Time. Any dire wards here on the high ground? Nope, doesn't look like it. Got sentries, however, I think. If there's one right here. We talked about it. And it looks like we're going here. There's the Sprout going in. Primetime is going to have to BKB. There's the Eclipse being popped. The Big Head taking a bit of damage. Primetime right-clicking. The Epicenter doing quite a bit of damage. There goes the Enigma, as well as another. Luna's down, however, but still the Aegis is popped. Suave taking a bit of damage. He's going to go down. And there's the Disruption, and they can defend this once again. There's the Impale. The Big Head going to take more damage. Burrow Strike as well. They cannot get past this defense of Berkeley. Somehow. This is just absolutely ridiculous. You've got to be kidding me. Just buy a Necro book. Just buy a Necro book. I mean, San Fran, I don't know. Like, they're not doing anything wrong. They're just... The initiations aren't there. They're getting Epicenter. Fan is playing out of his mind. I mean, Luna right-clicking absolutely crazy. And, yeah. They're going to try to push mid. And bottom lane is going to be pushed by Wolfen with that Ion Shell. And they might be able to take a few here. Probably actually just one. It would be the bottom lane, if anything. And I don't think it's going to happen because you've got 3 heroes up right now for the side of San Fran. And if Wolfen even gets close, he's going to die, I think, to that tier 1. And it's not even remotely low in health, so... I mean, they have to TP there, though. There's no TP up on Rubik. There's no TP on ZZZ. So this actually could be a free tower for Wolfen. And he's trying to pressure it as much as possible. And this is a large creep wave. You're doing a little bit of damage there.
Tower is under attack.
And a TP back from Wolfen, realizing that he might not be in the best position. Oh my god, this game is amazing. Once again, I am Maut. This is the CDL. Game number 3 between San Fran and Berkeley. A low-scoring affair earlier on in the game, but I think, what is it, 4 great defenses coming out from the side of Berkeley right now? They just will not go down. They are kicking and screaming. And this is almost demoralizing for San Fran. The experience is now going in favor of Berkeley, but they still are behind in gold, and that means items especially. But they've been surviving without the items, and this is really the only guy you need to worry about having items on, is this guy right here. Darkseer as well is also important, and even to a certain extent, Sand King is nice to have, but, I mean, they've got everything they really need right now. I mean, the BKB, they've got the Blink for Sand King, and that's pretty much all they need. He's got a plate mail on him as well. I'm not sure what he's going. I mean, they already have a Shiva's Guard, so... Fox as well. Doesn't have too much. He's got the Gem as well as the Chainmail, Arcane Boots. Ray Lottery still not picking up a Bracer, so still incredibly squishy, but he's actually only died 5 times. 5 times 3. These fights are ridiculous. All of this could be solved with 1 item on each person. Just get a Necro Book for everybody. A Necro Book 3 for everybody. Still, though, looks like they're going to try to group up and go ahead again on this bottom racks. Is it 5th time's the charm, I suppose? And I don't want to take anything away from San Fran because they've played this game beautifully. They've split push like crazy. They've taken every Roshan fight uncontested. They've built the Furion the way he's meant to be built. He's almost level 25. They've had great initiations. The thing that's really been the trouble is this guy, Fan with the Epicenter. Every time he comes in, it seems to be a ton of damage, and I'm not sure how they're not really focusing him down. I think with that Hex Stick on the side of the Enigma, they need to go for that Hex on Fan and get it done. But, of course, that BKB is available for the Sand King, making it 10 times harder. ZZZ has sort of lost his... I don't want to say usefulness because Track Hold is never unuseful. And... yeah, I mean, this is... They're going to try top this time around. There's a tower here. It's going to make it even harder to fight. Swab's going to push the bottom lane in the meantime. He didn't use that cheese from the previous Roshan encounter, which I don't believe is a cool... like, it doesn't have a I think it goes away at the next Roche. I don't think it lasts the entire time, but I could be incorrect about that. It looks like Soriko Suave wants to make a maneuver where they're going to try to go for a feign top push, and he'll just push into the Raxes in bottom lane. But this could backfire horrifically. However, this tower is going to go down. It's going to get denied by Nyx, and Wolfen's trying to come out right now. There's the Shiva's guard. Going to hit up. Silence on Wolfen. He realizes he's maybe in not the best position. Bottom Raxes are exposed as well as top. Now they have to pick their poison, and this is what they needed to do, and this is going to be incredibly difficult. Soriko Suave will back off. He'll TP up to the top lane, maybe look to help fight. This is a tough position for Berkeley to be in right now. They're going to push it back and then maybe rotate up to the top, and there's still a few more creeps, but they're going to let the other creeps go. Top lane is being pushed. Raxes are exposed. There is a fort available. It is going to go. Here's the TP coming in from the side of Wolf, and he can get silenced. There's immediately an Impale used, and they do a bit of damage, and meanwhile bottom Raxes are being pressured. This is going to be the melee. Fan going in though on Soriko Suave. He does have Cheese available. There's the Impale going. The Mana Burn, he can use Cheese. It will get used. He's going to use his BKB, take it, and just TP out right now. And an excellent use of that Cheese there, and that is the first Rax of the game. And that's tough. That's going to make it even harder for bottom lane to be pushed out ever again. And now top lane is the next set, and this could be important. There's going to be the Hex up onto Wolfen, and this might be it. If Wolfen goes down, he might have a buyback, but they need to do it immediately. There's going to be the epicenter of the Eclipse, not doing too much damage. The BKBs are flying. Primetime taking damage. GZZ as well might go down next. He is going to go down. They do defend this. There's a vacuum coming in. Is there a wall? There's a wall. Going to be used. Big Head taking more damage. Shiva's guard going as well. They still are defending. De-essing Lasers taking more damage. Surge going onto Wolfen. He's trying to get out right now, and they're not going to chase. Backside, they actually did take the melee racks with the Rubik there. Robosaurus will in fact go down, but Nature's Prophet does get out alive. And so the split push does work. They do take 2 melee raxes, and now they are crippling the defenses of the side of Cal. And that is exactly what they needed to do the entire time. It's getting to crunch time right now. It's about 56 minutes into the game. Primetime won't be getting much fatter. He can get a Satanic now if he so chooses. Even go for Divine Rapier in a little while if he really wants to. Okay, the Beast. He's going for an AC. Are you happy? Congrats. 56-minute game. Pretty interesting stuff. I've got to say, both fights have been, every fight has been pretty enjoyable to watch. This game should have been over, in all regards, 30 minutes ago, if we look at the graphs for gold and stuff. I mean, it was at 25,000 at 42 minutes, maybe even a little before that. Experience now, 8,000 going in the side of the Radiant, so they've got that going. There's a Divine Rapier purchase for Luna, and that's what you want to see. And the time is now. You're not going to get any more farmed unless you go for a Satanic. And Soriko Suave down here in the bottom lane. Threw his boots away. He could actually just get boots of travel right now, but I don't think he wants to. He's going to TP top lane. Oh, Wolfen needs to get out there. Sprout going to fly off. Wolfen in some trouble right now. He's pinging. He's like, help me for the love of God. He's trying to surge. There's going to be the Burrow Strike, the Epicenter going as well, but he's going to BKB up. Damage doing a lot of damage right now. He is going to go down. I'm not sure if he's got a buyback. He will buy back immediately. Wolfen, however, dying for it. Wolfen, I don't think, has a buyback. As you can see, 600 gold on the bank. He does not. The AC is finished up for the Sand King, which we were talking about earlier. 10,000 in experience, still about 20,000 in gold, and that gold is probably never going to change. This could be a big comeback. I mean, Primetime has a Rapier, so that's an extra 412 damage on top of what he's already at with 194, plus the AC, so it's now or never right now, and trying to push bottom is de-essing Lasers, and I don't think they're really worried about losing this ranged Rax. If they can take a fight, make sure that, I mean, he already bought back. His buyback is down for 4 minutes and 8 seconds. The Big Head has his own amount of buyback. They're going to try to push into this now. This is not really...
Radiant's middle tower has
They're going to try to BKB pop it here, and they're just brute forcing the melee, and the melee will in fact go down. There's the BKB pop, the Eclipse as well. A lot of damage going on, as you can see. There's a Black Hole going in. Not any follow-up damage. The Epicenter might be flying. Big Head going to pop the neck, or excuse me, de-essing Laser is going to pop the neck, and he's going to go down as well. Buyback coming from ZZ on the backside. Luna getting that kill. Force staffing away is Brobosaurus on the bottom lane. They're getting the kill on Soriko Suave. Can they get it is the question. He's trying to get the Rax. He does get it. And there's just no Raxes left right now. The Mega Creeps are here, and this might be it. Unfortunately, the Soul Catcher not going to latch the Big Head in some trouble. There's going to be the Impale. He is going to go down, but he probably has a buyback, I'd have to imagine. He's got 4,000 gold in the bank. He has a buyback ready, absolutely. And Wolfen is going to get the kill on that Night Stalker, and I don't know what you do if you're in the situation for Berkeley right now. I mean, you've got Boots of Travel, which is great, but the lanes are going to get pushed in a lot. And that's an understatement. Night Stalker's going to buy back, but at the same time, you're dead for 65 seconds. Your main damage dealer is gone. And I understand what they're trying to do here. They really need to throw on this, and it's going to be difficult. But there's the Impale from Fox onto ZZZ. Do they have any vision? Is the question. They have the gem, on Fox. So they're going to take him down. He has no buyback. He already bought back. And defending is Sand King right now. This could be a miracle. They're going to try to take the tier 3 down right now. This could be one of the closest games I've ever seen. Tier 3 getting pressured right now. TP coming in was actually from Fan right now. The fortification is going to fly. Blinking back, was de-essing. Tier 3 is going to go down the Raxus as well. And the base is pretty safe for now. No engagements happening just yet here. They're going for the throne, as you can see. 18 seconds for UCSF. They need it. And this could be it, potentially. Luna just doing so much damage right now with that rapier. Is this going to be it? This throne is going. GG is called. An unbelievable turnaround. One of the most ridiculous games I've ever had the luxury of passing. So, but it's not over. There's still another game. Berkeley is leading 2-1. And if San Fran can tie it, we'll be going to a game 5, but we will get into the next game in a moment's notice. Stay with me while I recompose myself.